Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? It is Superplayer NegativeAE, and welcome back. Yes, the comedy music is playing. Last we left off, we had just talked to the detective cop dude. He told us to watch out for things. Things are popping off. Who knows what's gonna happen now? Um, yeah, Tomitaki is dead. Sleepy. That's what I am right now. Whoa, that was a really big yawn, Keiichi-kun. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but doesn't look like I can do it today. I was watching TV until late last night, I'm so tired right now. Was it one of those raunchy TV shows you love so much on last night? How extremely vile. Don't jump to conclusions. It's perfectly normal for boys, nothing to be ashamed about. Rika not patting my head only made me feel worse. Did you just let me pass out this lunch break? No, seriously. You think I would just sit here and allow that? I'll get really angry if you disturb me. Really angry. Ugh. That was my best fake yawn. This was just yet dreadful. Just so sleepy. I had slumped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended not to hear. Put it out, Satoko-chan. Keiichi-kun, fall asleep. Sleeping face, so cute. You could take him home later. Let him be for now. Let's move over there. It'd be rude to Keiichi if we bothered him now. Rika-chan really is a good girl. Let's not wake him up even if the teacher comes back. I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night was because I was watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Oishi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Just spending the day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomitaki-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Uishi-san just trying to deceive me? But it was probably the truth. Why would that man have any reason to lie to you? He has no idea who you are, first of all. Second of all, it's like, it's a murder, so if he is lying to you, he's a sack of shit. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really don't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. So it ended up with me again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had never learned about it, I would without a doubt be goofing off with the rest of them right now. Couldn't help but resent Oishi-san for this. Huh? When was that? I heard he wasn't there the next day. It appears he vanished the night of the Watanagashi. Neon whispered to keep the others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up, but I could still tell that she was quite upset. Couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitaki-san? Take? Aki? Not sure. That's all I know. I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, it was much easier just to sit here and pretend I was asleep and to listen in on the discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung. So, and me. There are others, right? Two. But they don't know if it's from the curse or if this was an Onikakushi. Onikakushi? Onikakushi? To be hidden away by a demon? What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling that it meant nothing good. Hell, there was another, right? Right? If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah. But this year, at all? Grandma and the mayor had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they'd take care of whatever happens this year without causing a commotion. Then, without knowing it, someone had them. You mean maybe. This is so weird. Next could be, I wonder. Don't worry. Got home safely. But is not allowed, right? That was a long time ago. Stop talking about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term onikakushi, to be demoned away. The context it was used in, I guess it would be similar to being spirited away, which is a great movie. I suspected that was what it meant because Tomitaki-san and that woman, really bugged me that I didn't know her name, vanished after the Watanagashi. The next thing that stuck out was when Rena said there's another one, right? Mio also said if it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah, responding to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be 2 victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of curse or onikakushi. It seems like the curse and being demoned away are different things, and they were phenomena that were paired together. I recalled Tomitaki-san's terrible end. It wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. The horrendous end would best be described as cursed. Then the woman with him, it means she vanished because she was demoned away? What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper. And the last point that bothered me was Rena. Rena was frightened. For what reason I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Oyashiro-sama would be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday Oishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there was no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Rena. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Oishi-san. Informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep. It made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events. The teacher approaches. Keiji-san, you must awaken. In the distance, I could hear the ring of the handbell signaling the start of afternoon classes. I couldn't sleep at all. Hastily opened up my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment when I leaned into the back of my seat. When I leaned against the back of my seat, ow, there was a thumbtack stuck to the back of my chair with tape. That's like super mean, dude. I would like... That's when you start throwing punches. You're like, holy crap, you stuck a thumbtack on the back of my chair? I'll F you up, dude. Circumstantial evidence was enough. The Toko! Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. I furiously, yeah, dude, start throwing punches. I furiously jumped up from my seat. And then I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. Not bad, Satoko. While I was sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence and able to pull off this fine piece of work. The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko. That's what I would have done, dude. Just straight up like football tackle. Did you not notice that our teacher has arrived, Keiichi-san? Take your seat. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead. Keiichi-san is being mean. Hey, don't pick on the younger kids, Maebara-kun. Apologize to her. Saw Satoko stick her tongue out at me, that little brat. Come on, Maebara-kun? Yeah, I'll apologize. Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologized, even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her. I'll remember this. Kei-chan, get your revenge at the club meeting. Take your seat. I sat down after Mion told me to. She had switched to class representative mode. Okay. I have a couple theories. Oh, just switching things. So just like off the bat, like to that whole situation, I don't know. Freaking Rena seems like she's scared, which only confirms my theory more that Rena is maybe a problem. I think that it's less that they're her puppets now, and more that they're more involved with the curse or whatever. If not directly involved, indirectly involved, you know what I'm saying? But the boring class is finally finished, school was finally over for the day. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Personally, I would like to play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play last time because of Orishi-san. Ren and I weren't even able to test out our strategy. That's right, today Keiichi-kun and I will be victorious. What should we do? We've never played the same game 2 days in a row before. Why not try asking me? Mion looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up. Whoops, I completely forgot. I need to go help my uncle today. Sorry guys, not today. Helping your uncle? Aren't you a little too goody two-shoes? Sorry, really. I really did forget. Well then, sorry guys. This old man is heading back home now. Mion left with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag. See, Mi-chan sometimes goes to help out her uncle's shop in town. I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff. She said that she gets paid for it. It's quite a bit of spending money from what I hear. Let's see. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there. But wouldn't you call that a part-time job? Isn't that against school policy? There's a clause that states family businesses are excluded. Is that what she's calling it? So what now? Pass on the club today? So we're done for today, I guess. Wouldn't it be fine even without the club president? Let's do this. I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game with that ever-glowing pile of games. Oh, here it is. The deduction game from yesterday. Man, I had to stop just as I was getting the hang of it. At the very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break. I do not mind. But is that fine for Rena-san and Rika? If Keiichi-kun wants to so badly, I wouldn't mind playing for a bit. I think it's better if we do it when we have everyone together. When she says it like that... Wanted to go shopping if there wasn't a club meeting today. Going to buy soy sauce and other things. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. Well, I guess since it's been a while, I should go treasure hunting. Is this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities? If I kept trying to push the matter, it may make them realize that I had a trick up my sleeve. Oh well, I'll give up this time. I was really looking forward to playing it. I shuffled through the cards as if I was still cut up on it. At the next opportunity, I shall give you a sound thrashing. Oh ho ho ho. The murderer is Satoko. The murder weapon is the pistol. It was you after all. What did you say? Then I'll just... Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and stuck 3 of them out at me. The murderer is Keiichi, in the lounge with the rope. I don't need no rope. I'll just strangle you like this. No! Keiichi-san is such a beast. Well, I guess it's... What was that? What did I just do to this child? Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system. I'll remember this? What did I do? I put my hands around her throat and I went... I'll remember this, Keiichi-san. She was used as a plaything for quite a while. How unfortunate. Cute, cute. I feel like 90% of Rena's lines are just cute, cute. Oh, how cute. Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. Suddenly paused. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rena, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mia, Satoshi. Toshi. Not all the cards were made by us. Or at least, every card besides this one has the name of a club member. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? There's someone in class named Satoshi. I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall. Keiichi-kun, let's hurry and finish cleaning up. Being rushed by Rena, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rena had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Rena, there must be quite a few people who transfer from the school, right? I tried asking Rena in a roundabout way. Rena made a troubled face and then answered. Yeah. Hinamizawa is a rule town, right? People transfer out every now and then. Then is Satoshi another one of these transferees? Don't bring up Satoshi. That's not a good idea. Sorry. I don't really know. There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate. I'm not saying it to be mean. It's just last year. I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him? So I didn't hear much about him. Sorry. Okay. That went better than expected. I am not sure, sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murderer at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept on the unsettling curse from me. But if everyone is worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered what kind of face I was just making then, filled with mixed feeling of sadness and annoyance. Keiichi-kun, you're making a scary face. Why is it? Why? It's probably exactly the kind of face Rena said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her. Ah, sorry. I was really looking forward to the club today. I'm just feeling down about it. I rustled Rena's hair. Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. Stuff happening. I I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long, outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry. Inquiry? Hate that word. Ichikun, are you tired? Maybe. Maybe. Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made this situation even more unsettling. You think so? Yeah. Seem to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold? Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Rena continued on since I didn't give her an answer. It could be that fatigue from watching or from moving has finally caught up to you. It's completely different from where you used to live, after all. Of course, you've gotten tired since there's so much you need to get used to and remember. Maybe that's it. Yeah, it has to be. Brenna was also like that at first, too. I can tell, you know? You know? I wondered if Rena also experienced the slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt she was the only one who could understand how I felt. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Hanamizawa. What was it? Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened. Haha, it was the same as Keiichi-kun. I didn't know the villagers' names at all. Michan and the rest were all very kind, so I wasn't lonely. But I did feel a little out of place. Rena told me all the details of when she had moved here. All of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times. So Satoko got you too? Yeah. There was a thumbtack put on my chair. Poke. With that, yeah. That really takes me back. When were you invited into the club? The first day? Nah, it wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. One day she said we should stay after and hold a big game tournament. Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. Now I get it. This is a secret, but Michan used to be really bad at the beginning. She'd never win. Huh? Mion, really? I can't even imagine that. She had to do most of the penalties that she came up with. Seriously, don't tell. I can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty. I began making more friends besides Michan after that, but yeah. It might have been only since I moved here, or since you moved here, that I had finally felt like I had gotten used to it here. Guess Rena I guess Rena had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she first moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Oshiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them. I wonder when I'll finally be considered one of them. Huh? Did you say something? No, sorry. I'm just talking to myself. Ichikun, you're silly. Rena was poking fun and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. But I suddenly stopped. And after making up my mind, oh no. Oh no. Oh, I'm nervous for what's gonna happen when I click this button, dude. No, don't do it, dude. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, the music cut out and everything. Oh god, I'm so nervous. Oh no, Rena's like the worst person to talk to right now. She was the one that was scared. This kid is gonna murder himself, dude. No, not at all. You're lying, aren't you? Rena suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense. What do you mean by that, Keiichi-kun? Her tone was still the same cheery and light-hearted one as before. You are, aren't you? Keeping something from me? After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way I didn't expect. Oh my god, those eyes killed me. Oh my god, those eyes. Can I pee it? The HD eyes are way scarier. I'm not gonna lie. Well then, Keiichi-kun, aren't you keeping something from us? Holy damn. Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I had seen this expression from Reina. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Reina. Aren't you? Lies or secrets, aren't you? You are. Secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked at me as if she did. The incident with Tomitaki-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tomitaki-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then aren't we even? No, I'm not. No lies. Nor secrets. Liar. Her answer was instant, and it shook me. Rena started as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk. Why would you say I'm lying? Didn't you say you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Keiichi-kun? I know. You didn't go to the teacher's room. Swallowed hard. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened. The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? But you didn't talk at the entrance. You talked inside of a car near the school gate. With some man we don't know. Rena knew everything. She knew I was called out by Oshi-san and that I heard about the incident with Tomitaki-san as well. Did she know all of it? Exactly who was that man? I don't know him. Why did someone you don't know have business with you? I want to know that myself. Then what did you talk about? There's nothing to do with you guys. It was a lie. Lies. Damn, Rena got fucking mad and tense. Rena's scream echoed through the trees. I'll finish this out. Sending frightened birds into the air. Wow, dude, these expressions. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here I first realized. The person in front of me, she wasn't Rena Ryuga. Then who was it that was standing before me now? Who had assumed Rena Ryugu's appearance? I had held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating. Right? And then she made a facial expression that Rena normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Rena's usual smile. It chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was, with Rena's face, was going to chew my nose right off. Coward as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see right through me. We also have secrets. Just like how Keiichi-kun has secrets. It was Rena's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine almost to bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Rena, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, for a long empty silence, she finally spoke. Let's go. It's getting chilly. It was Rena again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight. Who was that? I felt cold. My body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and ask myself once again, who was that person who looked like Rena Ryuga? Alright. So, Jesus. Is that the end of the chapter there? Or is it like the halfway midpoint? Because, like, it was my understanding at very first that Rena was completely the way she was. I was not expecting like a split personality thing. That caught me off guard when the eyes went all like crazy. I thought she was genuinely scared that she killed somebody like earlier on. It was an accident, you know, and they were gonna play it off like, oh, nobody can find out, so we have to like stop everybody that is going to find out by killing them. But when she turned like that, it was like an immediate key to me that like, okay, maybe everybody has that split. Everybody's gonna have a split personality, and that's why they're all friends. And Satoshi was the last guy that was in their group that tried to like figure out or some shit. I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point. But after seeing that, it's a lot. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. And then things are gonna kick off so hard because now Rena knows. Because I did that. Because I'm an idiot. They're terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. There was someone else who only looked like Rena. Who could it have been? The dreadful feeling. Knowing that someone else, not Rena. Knowing that that was someone else, not Rena. So tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head. Though those thoughts continued swirling around in my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the steps. Keiichi, it's a call from the bookstore. Bookstore? I can't think of why it's one of them. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Oishi of the Okinomiya bookshop? Oishi-san? Oh, it's Oishi-san. Sorry. Since your parents picked up, I said I was from the bookstore. Puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Oishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. And so I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone up with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. The phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Something about this is killing me on the inside. And here's my 2 cents. And I know that I'm talking a lot because but shit just went down, so I'm all over the place right now. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Here's my problem. I feel like this number that he's about is false. Whoever's calling this Oishi-san, he's either at gunpoint or something's happening. Rena knows, so nothing is safe now. You know? Like, after seeing that split personality, I should be suspicious of everything, especially like a number change to the person I'm supposed to be contacting about them. Oh, I thought that was the end of it, but he began to make pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. So how's it been, Meibara-san? Did anything strange happen recently? Let's see. Was the real person. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Oishi-san? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Okinomiya. It's from around here, he might know. Oishi-san, do you know what this Onakakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away, like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything. Or maybe it's just true, but now I'm suspicious of everything that this man says. I don't know. Hinamizawa was, sure I should tell you this, Meibara-san. Don't try to play this off. If you're not going to talk, then I'm not going to tell you anything. No. That's not what I meant. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, long ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Demons? By demons, those pitchfork-carrying things in hell? More like human-eating monsters? They go down to villages snatching people up and gobbling them down. That kind of tale? Demons snatching up people is what this Onakakushi really means. They said that the curse and being demoned away happened together. What does that mean? I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row, but I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. The curse and being demoned away happened together? It's the first time I've heard of that. Is that how it is, Meibara-san? What I want to know. I heard Rena and Mion talking. They said that if it really was Oyashiro-sama's curse, then both the curse and the demoning away would happen. Oishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of that receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind? Meibara-san. You know the first incident? The murder by dismemberment? Yeah. One of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically. What if he isn't on the run, but he was demoned away? Huh? There's an outrageous hypothesis from Oishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was a particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be, unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. What about the incident the next year? When the man who supported the project and his wife both died in the incident? Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never resurfaced. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police drivers had searched every branch off the main stream of the river for dozens of miles. But in the end, they weren't able to find her body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it different from her being demoned away? You cannot say someone is dead without their body. Until a certain number of years pass, by law, she's treated as still alive. I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality. What about the 3rd year? The Shinto priest died of illness. and his wife committed suicide. Ebara-san. That's actually the same exact scenario. The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep in the forest around Hinamizawa, meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the marsh. The driver was able to recover a few remnants, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigative headquarters believed that she faked her death and was still alive somewhere. I'm not sure we could call these cases as being demoned away. It's just as you said, every year one person goes missing. The incident this year, the woman with Tomitaki-san had gone missing. Then what about the incident with the housewife beaten to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics abuse. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But, well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. It's still under investigation as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. But you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? No idea. It's considered a separate case. Moreover, we can't even check now. Because, while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell. He swallowed a spork and choked to death. It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide. Meaning, for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing? That's about right. No, I'm surprised as well. I never realized they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of those incidents. It was just something they had in common. Could it be that those demoned away have something in common? Oishi-san mumbled as he started to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. The first year was the dam employee. The second year was the wife of the dam project supporter. Third year was the wife of the Shinto priest. The fourth year was the victim's family's child. And the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. Yet. We don't know much yet. With the exception of the first year, wives and girlfriends, those do stand out. It does seem like there are a lot. Then that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitaki-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. The child that went missing in the fourth year, who were they? Apparently he was quite mature. 1 year older than you. Satoshi. His name, I called it, dude. His name was Satoshi Hyojo. It was leading up to that, to be fair, though. Satoshi? I remember that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Where I sat once belonged to the one who was demoned away? It was his seat? Dude, the music is just like crazy on point. I recalled the cold sensation that came from the desk. It made my hair stand on end. Mysterious deaths. No, Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it. I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. The more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. The more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually I'd reach the point where I'd learn something I really shouldn't know. To either be well, dude, you're fucking up a paddle, freaking, oh my god, you're up a paddle without a creek, is what I was about to say. To either be none the wiser or seek an answer I may regret. Dude, this man is screwed. Which one would I be happier with? You're already in it. Rena knows. Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. That was when I remembered. Rena. Rena said she may be the next victim of the curse. I mean, Rena Ryugu-san. She transferred in last year and she's your classmate, isn't she? These incidents might be too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? Wasn't that? She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think that she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt like she was convinced. Almost as if, you could say, she was frightened. Her sudden change in demeanor. That someone who looked like Rena but wasn't Rena. That might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Rena today came back to me. See. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryugu-san, Mibara-san. Are you asking me to keep Rena under surveillance? That's not what I mean, Mibara-san. I just want you to watch your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was impressed by his mature, clever way with words. Okay. A sudden knock on my door sent my heart racing. I have so much stuff to say. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. Can't you get the door, please? On the other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at that for the night? Or at this for tonight? Yeah. My apologies again for calling so late. If you find out anything else, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Well, have a pleasant evening. Ichi, hurry and open up. Daddy's got his hands full. What is Dad doing? I had stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with the tray. On that tray, cookies, 2 cups of black tea, a fairly fancy spread for our household. There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side. Everything you could ask for. This was quite the show of hospitality. What's going on, Dad? What's all this for? Come on now, don't play around, Keiichi. I'm coming in. Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I'd never seen him act this hospitable. What had gotten into him? So what were you talking about? I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father. But how could I explain to him I was talking to a detective? I'm assuming he was. This late at night. Nothing much. Just a friend. I don't mean the phone. She was here, wasn't she? Okay. This is exactly what I thought, who I thought was at the door. This music dude is killing it. She wasn't here. Come now, don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but it looks like I just missed her. I had no idea what Dad was talking about. But a cold sweat dripped down my neck, or my back. How long were we talking? Okay. Oh my god. There's so much stuff. That's very good. About an hour, I guess. You saw her come up to the second floor? Yeah, I did. I also told her that your room was the door down the hall up the stairs. Rena came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the second floor. I probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Oishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Then he told her my room was on the second floor. I thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then about an hour passed. He passed by my dad just as he was bringing up tea and left. She came upstairs, and in about an hour passed. Then she passed my dad and returned home. and after she came upstairs and until she left, where was Rena? There's only a short hallway between my room and the stairs, meaning Rena had for about an hour in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door all that time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said inside. All of the ominous things and all the nonsense I had spoke to Oishi-san began rushing through my head. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. It's a mess again. I knew you shouldn't have told anybody, dude. Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes. I looked down at the floor in the doorway where Rena might have stood all that time. Just now, as I was talking to Oishi-san with my back turned. Wait, Rena was standing a mere 6 feet away the whole time? All that time in a dimly lit doorway. What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of the black tea filled my room. Alright, that's chapter right there. Okay, so, damn, dude. Things took a turn this episode. This whole entire episode. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. So if you're interested in reading more stuff, not about that. I'm gonna end it right here. I'm not even gonna read any tips yet. Lies is the achievement I got, and man, is that a creepy achievement picture. Okay, so so at first, in my original opinion of what Rena was, is completely wrong now. I thought she was scared that she murdered somebody. Like I said before, I thought that maybe it was an accident. It's no longer an accident. It's intentional murder. And if she was all right talking about it with me they're in on it too. It's just what's going to happen. The problem is after tonight, I'm not going to be able to go back to school normally. And Rena knows exactly everything. So Rena's caught up to speed. I'm not. Rena knows pretty much all the information that she needs to know, and I'm going to guess that she's going to relay that to everybody, which is super interesting. There's all this talk about being demoned away. I'm not convinced that they're going to use demons yet, because they seem to be like dogging hard on the whole that there's like demons actually, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like after the fact, I feel like maybe there's a demon inside Rena, and like she didn't always used to be like that, and like the demon kind of takes over, and that's why Rena was like a different person there for a second, or maybe she's just schizophrenic. You never know. But what I'm saying is, like, I just want to talk about this because I'm so freaking, oh my goodness, like the creepy vibes, it just the subtle hints in the art. They did a really good job with this like HD stuff. Like that eye change was like instant and scary, and it like pierced right through you for a second, and then you're like, calm down, it's just a drawing, It was really weird. But yeah, I'm excited to play a little bit more of this. I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. There's lots of things running through my head, like what's tomorrow gonna look like, because you told somebody, dude, you're such an idiot for telling anybody that you just heard talk about the incident, You should have just been like, I'll let it go, if they freaking want to tell me, they'll tell me, but then Rena knew from the start that I talked with that detective dude, so then there's all this like, she knew already that I was going to be a problem. It was just, when was she going to reveal, that she knew? I don't know. I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Honestly, we're gonna continue this whenever, and I hope to see you guys in that next episode. Subscribe, like, you guys know the deal. I mean, it helps me out. And damn, dude, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.